Good afternoon, everybody. How you doing? It's wee Paddy from across the shuck. You're very welcome back to the channel, and it's a Rosecraft Blades Day. Heads up, just so that you know it, I get this sent to me for free. I got both of these sent to me for free. I feel very, very fortunate to be in that position because you know what I think of Rosecraft? Well, they just keep continuing to make great knives, and I'm not getting sick and tired of saying that. Absolutely not, because one, I love traditional knives, and these are traditional knives. They're made, they're pin construction, so they're everything that are traditional knives. All right, they're using modern machinery and that to make them. Yeah, plenty of other companies are doing that. Nothing wrong with that whatsoever. That's just how things progress. But Rosecraft blades have just made an awful lot of people's Christmas come freaking just true. They've really lifted, because this is a sort of pocket knife that a lot of us traditional people, it's the workhorse. It's the one we use the most out of a collection of knives, because that's what it's made for. It's made for work. It's made for an EDC knife. It's just one of those knives that you have to have in your collection. And everybody who collects, well, I'm saying everybody, that's very, very sort of up in the air, I suppose. But most people who collect, even if they're not traditional lovers, they like a sodbuster. Well, this is in honour of the sodbuster name that Case have so kindly taken from everybody. But they were quick. They got their dabs in and they got the name sodbuster before the rest did, and they took it over as their pattern. They weren't the creator of the sodbuster pattern, but they got the name. This is the farmhand. And this is there you are, you can see, the Overall Creek farmhand. That's the name of a river in the US. So, but I think overall, as in overalls, and farmhand go together perfectly. Go together perfectly. A well-named river for this knife. Who would have thought you'd have been able to do that? Anyhow, that's the box. They're super. Great little boxes. No fuss, but they look well done. They're sturdy. They're not flimsy. I like that. So we got two models of the farmhand, both in wood, both in sandalwood, but this is in the black sandalwood, and this is black. It really is black, but look at this. You see, this is what I like. They go that wee step more than they have to. They could have just put a basic, wooden handle on there, but they just overstep the mark. They just have to get on their high horse and show off and put the most beautiful little checkering up and down both sides. I think that's gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous. You've got that large rivet. Now, this is not a bird eye, because a bird eye would have the silver or stainless steel and a brass eyelet in it, or the other way around. But that's why I got named the bird eye, because you had the smaller pin in the inside of it. But it gives that a look, that appearance. It is just a big pin through there. So I just think it is beautifully done, but it really is black. But look in the fit and finish. Black shows up bad fit and finish very quickly. I just think, again, you could go around and try to pick something wrong with this. Well, you can't, because there's nothing there to be wrong. Pull, it's all right, between a 5.5 and 6. But the walk and talk wise, you're hearing it. Beautiful, beautiful. Time spent getting it right. And again, I'm going to put an awful list down to Andy. Andy is the brainchild behind Rosecraft, without a doubt. Now, he has other brains that help him. I don't want them smaller brains to be offended. Please don't be offended. But he's the one that designs these traditional ones. And he's made an absolute fantastic job of every single one so far. They might not be a knife that I'm going to be particularly, not that I'm not fond of, because he hasn't made a knife that I can't be fond of, because they're so well made. And when you're buying a knife, as long as it's well made, I can definitely get behind it, because everybody likes different patterns. So I just have to get behind the fit and finish. To me, as a reviewer, the fit and finish is one of the things that we can visually see. We can show faults that are there, But you can't on these. There just isn't. Or very, very rarely you'll get one that'll sneak through the QC system, which is phenomenal for the amount of knives they've been putting out. It's been kept at this really high standard, and I don't see it slipping. Andy's not that sort of bloke. It'll not slip. Anyhow, this farmhand, before I get into my swooning bit, this is just a super, super knife to finish the year with. Again, it's a knife that most of us all have had or will have in the future. This is fantastic. Look at the thickness across the back of this. And the other one that springs to my mind straight away is a GEC 71. I haven't got one anymore. I traded it off, as I do lots of times. And to be honest with you, this is hard to... It's going to be harder for me to pick another 71 up, because it's that same sturdiness of it. Maybe not as rounded off as the 71 is, but it's thick, it's comfortable in hand. There's no harsh edges, there's no hot spots. It has a beautiful, beautiful blade, which is very similar. Like most sodbuster style knives have the same sort of pattern. Slight drop point with a belly. Just gorgeous. Just gorgeous. Absolutely. A knife that can do almost every job you can think of with aplomb. And that's why it's such a good knife. It just does a bit of everything. It's a nice thin grind, not super thin, but it's a nice thin grind behind the edge. It is as sharp as the dickens, as our Pete would say over at the Jersey Knife Guy. Look at that. Absolutely beautiful. That's out of the box. I haven't touched it or done anything with it. It is fantastic. Super, super knife. Now, that's the one offering, a nice black. A lot of people like just black. And this one has really come out now. Again, because it's wood, you're going to get different variations. We've seen that with a sandalwood, but this is a definite black sandalwood. And the next one is my personal favourite of the two, although that's just on the wooden handles because both knives are finished to the exact same quality. I want to remind you about these. Rosecraft got these slips made now. And when they're for sale and when they're in stock, buy them. These are fantastic. They come very stiff and dry, so they will need a bit of oil on them. I use mineral oil, or I'll usually use a bit of mineral oil to soften it up a bit, to let it soak in, and then I would use beeswax or another product that gives it a nice luster and a shine. But they are fantastically well made, I have to say. Lovely bit of leather, well put together, stitching really good. So yep, I highly recommend these slips, and they're not expensive. That's only because I don't know the exact price, because I got this for free too. But they are beautiful. I am such a bad reviewer. This is the yellow sandalwood, and this is even dark for the yellow sandalwood, but I just love it. Again, it's got that checkering put into it. Like, come on, they don't need to do this. This is a sodbuster. Why are they making it pretty? Because they can, and they have. And I just, for a knife that's 60 odd pound, it's only in the low 60s, I believe, that it's going to be. Maybe up to mid, but again, it's just phenomenal. Gorgeous pieces of wood, really nicely hafted. Again, that large pivot, which gives it that sodbuster look. And not all sodbusters have the bird eye pivot, because here's a sodbuster here from the company who got the name Sodbuster, and it doesn't even have one on it, and that's one of their sodbusters. Why has it not got the bird eye pivot? There we go. But it's still a sodbuster, and it's the pattern, it's the shape, it's everything about it. Nice clean lines. It just fits in everybody's hand. I have a large hand, and it just fits beautifully in my hand. I don't even have to sneak up. But this is the other thing that I like about Andy. When he does things, he does them right. So here's the fear of everybody when they get, well, not everybody, a lot of people about traditional knives. They have the fear of this happening. Oh! Did you see the way I didn't even flinch? Look at the gap. That's where it lands. And even when you push it as hard as you can down, that's as far as it goes, you're going to get a bit of a nip. But you're not going to be going to A&E. That is simple, but such an easy thing to do with a traditional knife. And Andy has mastered it already. Just do that and then you're safe. Just super. Just super. A beautiful blade. Let me give you a size on it. Closed, it is, and for those of you who don't know, when we're measuring slip joints, the main measurement you're going to have is the closed, when the knife is closed. That is the main measurement. So the handle. This is 3 7/8, let's say, which is a nice size. The blade is, gosh, dead on 3 inches. And it is blooming, well, maybe 2 7/8. I'm not sure. It'll be close. It'll be close, 2 7/8. There's plenty of it's UK legal. That's all you want to know. But you have a cutting edge of 2 5/8. So we've got 3 7/8 or 4, close to that. But it is just beautiful. Perfect size for work. Beautifully constructed. No gaps. They go the extra mile on most of their knives. Well, they go the extra mile on all their flimming knives. Look at that. It's just beautiful the way they've done these handles. It doesn't give a huge amount of traction, like I said, but it feels nice. You know, it just feels comfortable. You don't feel as if you're going to slip on it. It's not that my thumb's there and I'm pushing down. It's not going to slip. It's a beautiful, beautiful knife. But with that added thing, if this gets bashed down on your hand, there you go. That's down full. And it's still not cutting me because I hit that a good thump. When am I ever going to hit the back of my knife like that? So, 2 gorgeous offerings. They'll be here shortly, and now they're on sale already in America. Hennie, I'm just hoping they're going to have them in the next day or two so they can get them out to you for Christmas. I'm sure they will. I'm sure they will. So, absolutely. Is this a buy? Is this something I can recommend? You know it is. It is fantastic. And it's the pattern that probably excited so many people. And it's in a price range that most of us can afford. Most people can afford this sort of 60 to mid-60 for a high-end traditional pocket knife. And that's it. You know. There you go. I sometimes just run out of words to say. The sheaths are fantastic. Get yourself one. They fit this knife absolutely. I've been carrying this in this one. Again, they are stiff to begin with, but I need to get this oiled and get it in. But it's perfect for that knife. Sits lovely down there. This is the large sheath. They do a small one as well. But super. Absolutely super. Everything you want for a Christmas present, either to yourself or to a friend. And let me tell you, there's nobody in the knife game who would be upset to get one of them for Christmas. Nobody. I'm gone. Thank you very much for watching and listening. Thank you very much for the support you've given Andy and Rosecraft through my channel. I really, really appreciate that. Am I a shill? No. The real shill is Slipjoint Sawyer. He's the leader. I'm just a wee man on the side. And I highly recommend this Rosecraft. And just as a wee special, I'm going to give you my top 5 Rosecraft blades. So if you stuck around, this is what you're going to get. So this one is just come in at number 5. Number 4, the Cane Creek. An absolute belter of a little small 3.5 inch knife with a gorgeous clip point. And I'm still moving them around. The Tallahassee are not, yeah, is it? No, it's not the Tallahassee. Where did I get that from? Oh, it's something like that. You know what I am in names. But with that blue bone, just the sexiest little knife. Beautiful little pen knives. The next one, the Nullichucky, which is a fantastic big working knife, but it's got that really classy bone handle with a dyeing that is just to die for. And my number 1 of this year, it had to be a Barlow, didn't it? Well, you're right, because I've had a couple of really good Barlows, but this one, the Otter Creek, that's an otter paw. Look at that. Look at that clip point. Lovely and fat all the way down to here. It's just a beautiful clip point. Stunning. Well done, Andy. This is in, I think this is sandalwood as well. I think it's just yellow sandalwood, but it's quite dark. Maybe this is the darker sandalwood. But it is a fantastic rendition of a classic knife, the Barlow. I adore this. Beautiful, beautiful knife in hand. But with Andy's little bit of flair, that blade shape that he designed is phenomenal. I love it. So there is my top 5 Rosecrafts at the minute in my collection. And that could change because it has often changed before this video. But this one makes it into that top 5. I know a lot of people, it's right up there. It's their top 1. It's not my top 1, but only because I like the... I mean, this is definitely a work knife. They'll all do work, but this is definitely a work knife. So, and this is what I would call another little work knife because it's got that G10 on it. But these are classy. These are just classy. And to get that in one company, I'm behind you. Behind you. There you go. Paddy's away. If I don't, I will see it because I have another video to make for Friday. Anyway, take care. Don't forget tomorrow night, the podcast, Thursday night, 7:30 UK time. Come along and join us for the last one. We have a really special guest, somebody who I'm so pleased is coming on the show tomorrow. So check the listings and you'll see who's coming on tomorrow. Bye-bye.